One of the questions that I frequently get is, Jenna, what do I do with all of those gel prints that I make? I have stacks and stacks of them. I don't know what to do with them. Well, don't worry, I've got you covered, because in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make a book with your gel prints. It doesn't require any sewing. It doesn't require any bookbinding tools or bookbinding glue. And we're going to have a lot of fun with this. This is a pocket kind of concertina book. I used my gel prints to create these pockets. So this is a book that you can make where you can store little treasures, maybe mementos of a trip. If you have a child, they can store their little secret things that they like to collect in this book, and you can tie it up with a ribbon and use it as a keepsake. So let's dive into this lesson, and I'm going to show you how to make this. Hi, my name is Jenna McLean. I'm a printmaker, and my goal with this channel is to help you become a more skilled printmaker yourself and have a lot of fun in the process. So let's dive into today's project. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll tell you how to get my free gel print supply list. I learned how to make this book from a very talented UK artist by the name of Susan Yeates. She also has a YouTube channel, and so I will link her information in the description below. Here are the supplies that you're going to need for this project. You're going to need your gel prints, and we're going to be folding them in half. So we're going to be making a cover for the book out of a piece of cardboard. So you have to make sure that you have a piece of cardboard that is the same size as your gel prints or slightly larger than that. I like to save pieces of cardboard when I have a pad. It could be something like this graph paper, or my watercolor paper. Anytime I have a piece of cardboard like this and I'm completely done with a pack of paper, I save the cardboard just for moments like this when I want to make something. So you'll need that. You're going to need some kind of tape. It can be regular tape, painter's tape, masking tape. I'm going to be using really pretty washi tape for this particular project. You're going to need a glue stick. You may need a ruler, and you're going to need scissors or something to cut with. You're not limited to using your gel prints for this project. You can use other papers that you have. I'm a block printer. I was playing around with some of my blocks, so I could take some of this paper and put it in this book. Here's some other block prints that I did. You could also use really nice marbled paper or printed paper from another source. I might use some of this in this project. And you could also use an old map. You could use pages from an encyclopedia or an old dictionary. You could use paper bags. You could use any kind of paper. It does not have to just be gel prints, but there is one thing that you have to pay attention to, and that is that all of the pieces of paper that you use have to be the same size. This is the gel printing paper that I use. It is 9 by 12 inches. I also do cyanotypes, and I grabbed this and I thought that I might use it for the book, but it's too small. It's not big enough. You want all the paper that you're using to be the same size. So if I wanted to use this cyanotype, because we're going to be folding everything in half, I would have to cut all of these down to the same size as this, and quite frankly, I'm too lazy to do that. So I'm not going to use the cyanotype in this particular project, but I may use some of these papers, which are clearly bigger, and if I decide to use some of these, I'm going to cut them down to 9 by 12. I went through my gel prints and grabbed some that I want to use in this project. I want them to look different. I don't want them to all be, for instance, botanicals. Some of them have print on both sides. Many of them do not. This is a grunge print that I made with baby powder, and I've got some other ones here. So I'm mixing up colors. I'm mixing up gel print techniques. I don't want all of these to look exactly the same. Here's a magazine transfer that didn't quite work out, but I think it'll work really well in this book. So these are all 9 by 12. They are good to go. I think I'm going to use a piece of this. I'll do the same with this. I just counted. I have 18 sheets. I think that's good enough. So we're going to start folding these up and taping them. I'm going to be using this beautiful washi tape. I got this on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. All of these individual tapes have parts of paintings from Monet. So they're really beautiful and dreamy. And the colors kind of go with the blues and the pinks and the greens I've chosen here. And you don't have to have matchy-matchy gel prints in order to make a fun book. You could use any color combination you want, but today I'm just feeling the blues and the greens and the pinks, so that's what I'm going to work with. So you take your first gel print or piece of paper and you fold it in half. And we're going to take a piece of washi tape, or if you don't have washi tape, you could use regular adhesive tape, masking tape, painter's tape, and we're going to tape up both ends of each piece of paper. It doesn't matter if they're off kilter a little bit, like that. And you just take your scissors and trim off any excess. And now we have one of our pockets, so I'm going to sit down and tape up the rest of these, and I'm going to speed up the tape. All right, I have folded all of my pieces of paper. I've taped them up at both ends. One of the things that I did discover is that when I was trying to put the washi tape on the ends of these handmade papers, that the washi tape didn't stick. Washi tape is not that sticky, and it was lifting up from this, so I went over the ends of these particular papers with painter's tape, and it seems to be sticking. I have these in a certain order. The openings to each one of these papers is facing this way, and the folded areas are facing this way. This is going to be the spine of our book. So I'm going to take some glue from a glue stick, and I'm going to just run it down the middle here. And I'll run it down the middle of this. And I'm just going to stick these together. And I'm going to do this with the rest of them. So I'll speed this video up and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, these are all pasted together. This is what the book is going to look like. And right now I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of cardboard to fit over this. This measures 6 by 9. So I'm going to put these underneath a heavy book so that they'll stick together even better. I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of cardboard that are just a little bit bigger than 6 by 9, and I'm going to cover them with paper too. So I'm going to mark off 6 1/4, and I think I'll go with 9 1/2. And when I cut things, I like to use this ruler that has this lip here, this metal lip, and this non-skid stuff on the back, so that when I use a knife, and I use a pretty heavy-duty knife as you can see here, I don't have to worry about it slipping and coming over this edge and slicing my finger off. Back when I was in college, I went skiing. I was a very good skier. I'd been skiing all my life, but I broke my thumb skiing, and I had to have my thumb fused together. It's all one piece from here to here. It doesn't bend like this one does. So when I cut things out, I have to go with some heavy-duty knives because my thumb does not bend. Most of you are not going to need a knife like this. You could probably get by with an X-Acto knife. That looks good. So let's cover these. I think I'm going to cover these pieces of cardboard with some deli paper. These are some prints that I made from a recent mark making video. So I might use these because it'll be very easy to pull them around the edges of this cardboard because the paper is so thin. So I think I'm going to head in that direction. Again, you can use any kind of paper you want. You could use sheet music for the cover. You could use an old map, old receipts, gift wrapping paper, anything that you want. You don't even have to put paper on it. You could draw on the cardboard. You could stamp it with a stamp set. What you put on the cover is entirely up to you. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the front and the back cover and we're going to attach them to each other. So take a look at your spine and see approximately how thick it is. This looks like it's about 1/2 inch, actually a little bit less. So I'm going to put these here. I'm going to line them up. I want to make sure there's about 1/2 inch between them. And I'm just going to cut some ribbon and attach them that way. I'm not even going to measure this. And to hold these in place, we're just going to use tape. Make sure that the tape that you use is really sticky. I have found in my experience that sometimes brands of tape that I've used for years, I'll buy them again and they're just not as sticky. So since we're not using traditional bookbinding glue, which is made of PVA, we're doing this instead. You have to make sure that these pieces of string are really on there. And now I'm going to attach a little bit of string on each end just so I can tie up the book and keep it closed. I think it's a nice little touch. I'm not even going to measure this. This doesn't have to be that precious. This is a very casual book we're making here. And then we will attach this by putting glue here and pressing it on there. And we'll put this over like this. Did that go on evenly? Yes, it did. Now I'm going to set something heavy on this so that it dries. But here we have our book. Could you have put another piece of ribbon here? Yes, you could. And if the bigger you go with a book, you probably should do that. I'm going to very gingerly open this up because I don't want the glue to come undone. Here is a fabulous book that we have made with our gel prints. Now, one of the things that I did with this book, I used the printed side of the paper here, and so the inside pockets, most of them, are white. You could reverse it if you want. You could have the gel print on the inside and have white here. It's entirely up to you. And you can do so many things with these books. They're just fun to make, and if you have kids, this is a great way to teach them bookbinding without any needles or any really sharp tools like awls. So have fun with this and let me know down in the comments what you make and how you plan to use it. All right, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to get my free gel print supply list, just look in the description below this video. There's a link. You can click on it. This will be sent to you right away. This is really a booklet. It's about 10 pages long, and in it I provide you with the information of the gel printing tools I use, the gel plate, the brayers, the kind of paper I use, the kind of paint and other supplies that you'll need. So look in the description below to get this. And I also teach an online gel printing course. It's for people who are beginners, people who've never touched a gel plate, or people who've gone down the path a little bit and they want to learn more. In this course, I teach you everything from how to work with masks to how to work with stencils, how to create botanicals. I show you how to do image transfers with magazine photos. They're the trickiest ones to do. It's about 9 modules. It's a very meaty course, but it's structured so that you just keep learning from step to step to step. And if you want to get on the wait list for that, there's also a link in the description below this video. So if you enjoyed this, please hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. That would really help the channel. And I thank you so much for watching.